what this virus has shown to the general public, at least the ones living in the United States, is that we don't need celebrities during a time of crisis. Because have you ever thought about that? I mean, think about it. How many times have you heard of celebrities, pander about, equal pay, equal rights, gender equality ever since this whole pandemic started, in the United States? I haven't heard a single celebrity, try to lecture us about what we, the everyday individuals, should be doing. But it's pretty ironic. Like I said, it's pretty ironic because it's showing us that the essential workers, the essential businesses, is not Hollywood. It's not Apple. It's not Microsoft. It's not the woke companies that say, "Oh, we need to be inclusive of everybody." And if you do, and if you refuse to, and if you choose to question us, you are a bigot and a sexist. Well, I mean, Hollywood has been deemed as a non-essential business. Ironic, isn't it? The real people who make this country work, who keep it functioning, are those who are working in restaurants, who are working as truck drivers, those and the doctors and nurses, first responders as well. These are the people that keep this country on its feet. They are the backbone of this country. It's not celebrities, it's not Mark Wahlberg, or it's not Jim Carrey, or Gal Gadot, or or Will Smith. No, they make millions of dollars thinking that we know what the common man wants, and yet they really don't. But throughout this past couple of days, they've seen a lot of hypocrisy. One of the things we're going to start with is when, I don't know if you saw the viral video about a bunch of celebrities led by Gal Gadot, aka Wonder Woman, which I'm not gonna lie, I was actually pretty pissed off at Gal Gadot actually leading this type of ensemble, because she's one of those few Hollywood celebrities that I thought, you know what, she's not that kind of people who thinks she's better than everyone else. But after this video, I started to resent her a little bit, because it shows you how ignorant and how hypocritical not Hollywood in general, but how the upper class, in the sense of celebrities, the left-leaning woke celebrities, are the ones who are clearly the hypocrites. Now, Joe Rogan, I don't know if you are a fan of him. I like to listen to his podcast from time to time. The guy's pretty funny as a comedian as well. I actually like to spend most of my quarantine time watching stand-up comedy, like Tom Segura, Joe Rogan, Gabriel Iglesias, also Dave Chappelle. But Joe Rogan, he recently talked about it in his podcast with, I think it was Tom Segura, about celebrities, basically about celebrities singing the song "Imagine" by John Lennon. Now, what's so harmful about that? Well, I'm not a religious person, but seeing how the first words of the first line of the lyric is very, I would say, heartless in the sense. Just think about it. Many people have died. All right, I'm not gonna. That's pretty much the truth. Some people have died in the United States due to the coronavirus. However, I don't think the thing people want to hear right now, especially everyday Americans, people who are religious, I don't think the first words they want to hear from a celebrity like Gal Gadot is "Imagine there's no heaven." Because here I have the lyrics from John Lennon, and the first line is "Imagine there's no heaven." You don't want to hear that in a time like this, right? And again, it goes to show you how ignorant Hollywood is in terms of when it comes to knowing the everyday individual, right? The people who wake up to work at 6 in the morning, they go literally drive across the country to deliver, a crate full of supplies for Amazon, or those who wake up, from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. at a McDonald's or working at a restaurant. It's clear that these people are out of touch, for one. But what I also find very hypocritical is that, and obviously Joe Rogan actually calls this out too, is like he calls about the idea of the whole situation with heaven. But apparently, the video has also gotten a lot of criticism, which obviously I'm not surprised. But when I saw the video, personally, I did see it. If anything, it was very cringe-worthy. Like I just couldn't. I just watched to see, okay, how bad can this get? And it got worse. But like I said, one of the things that I do not like about people in general is when they're hypocrites. When they tell us to do something and yet they don't do it themselves. Right? When it comes to, for example, like AOC, she says charter schools are bad, and yes, she has her goddaughter in a charter school. Bernie Sanders says the rich are bad, but he's a millionaire. And the moment he became a millionaire, he stopped saying millionaires and billionaires are the bad things in this country. All he says is now is billionaires, right? When I hear the Me Too movement talking about believe all women, and yet someone accuses Joe Biden of sexually assaulting her, and this happened recently, by the way. The Me Too movement is nowhere to be found, not even the mainstream media. But oh, if it was Brett Kavanaugh, oh, definitely believe her. Believe, believe Christine Blasey Ford because she is accusing a conservative. This is the problem that I have with people in general, the hypocrisy, right? But again, what pissed me off was not the first line. I get it. It can be a little bit insensitive considering the times right now. People are dying, and the last thing a religious person wants to hear is that there's no heaven. I'm not a religious person, but I can understand how people could be infuriated by the first line. However, what made me become infuriated by this video was not the first line, but it was towards the end. And I'll read you the lyrics if you're listening to this, and if you're watching this, you can read along with me if you wish. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. You want to know why that line pissed me off so much when they sung? When again, the song is not what pisses me off. I like the instrumental part. I don't like the lyrics, but if you listen to the piano, I like the instrumental part. I don't like the lyrics. But again, what pisses me off is the idea of who's singing the lyrics. Imagine no possessions. This line is being sung by multimillionaire celebrities in their mansions, having a lot more resources than the everyday individual. See what I mean? There is the hypocrisy. Imagine no possessions. If you look up these videos right now, like go on YouTube and look up Imagine, celebrity version. Read the comments. You'll be surprised. I actually left one on one of the videos. I actually left a comment that says, "Okay, you imagine no possessions. How much of your stuff are you going to give us, celebrities?" And you'll be surprised how many people are saying the same thing. So that's one. Again, showing you how celebrities are so desperate for attention that they're willing to sing a song that not only insults religious values, not just Christianity, but also other religions, monotheistic religions, but also shows you the hypocrisy of who's singing it. Imagine no possessions. How much money do you think Gal Gadot is going to give these people throughout this crisis? I think nothing. What about Will Ferrell? What about Ellen DeGeneres? Will Smith? They're all living in their little in their little uncomfortable mansions with literally a lot more resources than the everyday individual, and yet they're saying we're just like you. Imagine no possessions. But we all know when celebrities talk about the 1%, they're not talking about them. They're talking about people like Jeff Bezos, right? The people who actually took a risk and becoming someone successful. Meanwhile, these people who get paid to pretend to be someone else are lecturing us, are telling us that there is no heaven, telling us a world without possessions, knowing that they have, all these limitless resources that they can have, a huge mansion. It's insane. It really is. It goes to show you how celebrities, they cannot stand it when the spotlight isn't on them and they do stuff like this. Even Joe Rogan has to call them out. And I don't agree with Joe Rogan on everything, but the guy literally, if anything, if a left-leaning Joe Rogan calls out the left-leaning celebrities of Hollywood, you know that celebrities are in the wrong here. But another example of why this coronavirus is showing the hypocrisy of the left-leaning upper class. I don't know if you guys remember in the beginning of the year on January, where Meghan Markle said that she wouldn't want to live in the United States because of Trump, and she won't live in the United States until Trump leaves office. Well, I don't know if you were aware, but apparently Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, I don't even know if we can still call him Prince, even I guess because it got ties, but I'm a decent human being. I will address His Royal Majesty regardless of whether or not he's actually tied with the royal family at this point. But Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, apparently they're going to start living in the U.S. But what's that? Trump is still in office? Yeah, I know. Really ironic, isn't it? Maybe because the United States actually, doing a really good job at trying to stop this whole situation. I mean, Donald Trump was talking about border security before this thing even started. Talking about how we need to make sure that people who come in don't have diseases, are not gonna cause harm to the people already living in this country. Wow, right? It's almost as if Donald Trump saw this coming, which obviously he didn't, but he already had the right idea. But back in January, Meghan Markle, the most popular royal member of the royal member of the royal family, apparently she said she didn't want to live under Trump's United States. And even then, from the Mercury News, it reads, Meghan Markle would love to live in LA after Trump leaves office, report says. Meghan Markle once famously said she worried about the kind of world Donald Trump was creating in his divisive, misogynistic rhetoric. You mean divisive like the one that Donald Trump says we need to stand together because when America's united, we're basically unstoppable? That's not a direct quote, but the message was very similar. You mean the type of Donald Trump that's divisive, where he's calling out the media for inciting panic and calling these all these other and trying to make people in the United States panic? You mean the same media that's saying racist stuff like the Wuhan Chinese virus, but the moment Trump says Chinese virus, say, well, that's racist. Yeah, if anything, it's the media that's going to be doing this divisive, misogynistic stuff. Oh, and by also too going to the idea of misogynistic. Do you want to live in a country with Joe Biden living in it? I mean, he recently got accused of a woman, accusing him of sexually assaulting her. But the only reason why I believe her, even though it's literally decades later, the reason why I believe her compared to that one of Brett Kavanaugh is because Joe Biden has a history of this stuff. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about Biden in this case. Again, those videos about the hypocrisy of the leftist elites telling the everyday people we need to do something, and yet they don't do it themselves. So Meghan Markle says she would never want to live in the USA under Trump's presidency. And now it turns out that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, His Royal Majesty, are going to be living in the US. I would say they're like about, 4 years too early? I mean, Meghan, you need to wait 4 more years. That's what you said, right? Or is it something else that makes her want to move to the US right now, despite Trump still being in office? Well, from Daily Wire reads, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle respond to Trump saying they must pay for US security. Now, apparently, if you're not aware, as long as, I don't know if you're aware, but members of the royal family, usually, Canadians, usually, and then, and people in England, they pay for their security, they pay for, all the other stuff, right? But ever since Harry and Meghan Markle left the royal family, they're not getting those benefits anymore. So now apparently Trump, and even then Trump, I think I read one of his tweets saying that the United States is not going to pay for the security, and I agree. Why should we pay for the security of two people that, first of all, they left on their own? They weren't kicked out. They left on their own. They said, you know what? We don't need this. We don't need this royal family. We're going to leave. Really ironic, isn't it? But anyways, let's read a little bit of this article. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, have responded to President Trump's Sunday tweet saying they must pay for their own security if they want to live in the United States, and I agree, Mr. President. Speaking with Fox News, a spokesperson for the royal couple said they already plan to pay for their own security upon relocating from Canada to LA. Again, pay for your security. I'm glad with that. Live here if you wish, but again, very hypocritical of them. Donald Trump is still president unless she didn't get the memo. Anyways, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have no plans to ask the U.S. government for security resources. The statement said privately funded security arrangements have been made. And hopefully it stays that way. Because we all know how celebrities are. We all know how the leftist elite are. They tell us to do one thing, but yet they don't do it themselves. The hypocrisy at its finest. I'm a great friend and admirer of the Queen and the United Kingdom. It was reported that Harry and Meghan, who left the kingdom, would reside permanently in Canada. Now they have left Canada for the U.S., however. The United States will not pay for their security protection. They must pay, Trump tweeted on Sunday, following reports that the soon-to-be royal couple had relocated from a private mansion in Canada to a home in LA, California. And there's obviously a picture of the tweet. And then, let's get going. Speaking with People magazine, a source close to the royal couple said that Harry is not looking back. Harry is looking straight ahead at his future with his family. The source said they will be spending time in California. He's not looking back. Controversy over Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's security has been ongoing ever since they announced their split as senior members of the royal family to carve out a more progressive role for themselves in North America. Upon their initial relocation to Canada, up to 80,000 Canadians petitioned that the couple pay for their own security. And even Canadians didn't want to pay for the security of these two entitled, woke elitists. Again, I'm surprised Canadians, there's actually some Canadians out there with some common sense. To those 80,000 who signed the petition and to those in Canada who are watching this and you actually are more common sense when it comes to not paying for Harry and Meghan's security through your taxes, good on you. Good on you. I'm glad to see that there's some Canadians out there who still have some degree of common sense. Everyone wishes Meghan and Harry all the best in becoming financially independent, but we need to be clear about one thing. Canadian taxpayers shouldn't have to cover their bills, said Canadian Taxpayer Federation Federal Director Aaron Woodrick. The Canadian Taxpayer Federation is launching this petition to make sure Prime Minister Justin Trudeau knows that Canadians are happy to welcome the couple as long as they pay their own way. And I agree. And I'm glad that the United States is doing the same thing. They want to live here, by all means, go on and fine. I have a problem with them in political terms, but I'm not saying they shouldn't live here. They want to live here, fine. Just don't use my taxpayer money to pay for your security. You're rich, you have the money, pay for your own security. It's called the Second Amendment. I mean, in my case, it's the Second Amendment. You can hire those security guards with their guns, holstered, and then go behind your gated community and say guns are bad and walls are evil, even though we all know what you're doing in your personal life. But overall, like I said, but like I said, the whole thing about this whole situation about the coronavirus is that it's showing us that the leftist elitist, they're the ones who clearly can't stand the idea of not being part of the spotlight. They can't stand it. They can't stand it. Not to mention they're very inconsistent and they're very hypocritical. Meghan Markle says she wouldn't want to live in the U.S. under Trump, and now she's moving to L.A. I think Trump is still president. I mean, I could be wrong. He was impeached, but I don't think he was convicted. Oh, wait, he wasn't. Again, the hypocrisy at its finest. Celebrities singing Imagine? I wouldn't say it's not that bad of a song. I don't like John Lennon. I actually like the Beatles. I didn't like John Lennon. The guy was a huge wacko. But the lyrics, if anything, it kind of shows you that celebrities, they don't understand us. They never will. They're living in their own little bubble, their little echo chamber, patting themselves on the back and saying, oh, if you agree, then that means the whole world must agree. I want to ask you this. In all sincerity, like, if you still don't believe that celebrities don't matter in a time of crisis, I want to ask you this. How many times have you heard any news about Gal Gadot or any celebrity in Hollywood? I haven't heard anything about them. I haven't heard about any celebrities that are very notorious for being in the news, like Kanye West or Kim Kardashian. I haven't heard anything about them. You want to know what I do hear about them? It's about people losing their jobs, not getting paid, getting their hours cut. That's what I hear. Celebrities, they don't know what it feels like. All it takes is one movie and they're already millionaires. Me, my case, I probably will never be a billionaire or even a millionaire. But what I do wish to do is to actually have a home, eventually buy one, have a family, hopefully raise them in a way that they actually become successful individuals themselves, maybe become more successful than me. But celebrities, they don't know what it's like to struggle. All they do is they get paid they basically get paid to pretend to be someone else, and they get paid millions to do it. I don't. I get paid $17 an hour, and I actually like it. I actually don't like the attention. But it goes to show you that celebrities in this case, they can't stand not being the focus and the center of attention. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with my argument saying that the coronavirus has basically demonstrated the hypocrisy of the elite leftists like celebrities in Hollywood and people like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry? Do you think that Donald Trump is doing a good job handling this whole situation? And as a little bonus question, what do you think of the song Imagine in general? I mean, what do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's a good song in terms of instruments? Do you think you like the lyrics more than the instrumentation? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new. Share this with your friends, your family, and I'll see you guys next time.